reporting for TTN-HD Production Live, here with Erin Faith Young, the producer of Music from the Big House. Erin, how did you get involved with the project?
Rita Shirelli, who is the main character of this film, she approached us several years ago, and she had been going down to Louisiana, and she was actually traveling down Highway 61 on a pilgrimage in search of, blues and roots music, and stumbled upon Louisiana State Penitentiary, which is known as Angola. And when she started finding out about the history of the music there, she also realized that not only was it rich and all this old blues music, but that there was new music coming out. There was this great music program for the inmates. So she heard them play and knew that this music had to be heard outside the prison. Didn't quite know what to do with it. She first approached Bruce McDonald, who's the director, and just said, here's an idea. It's music in a prison. It could be a documentary or something. Is he interested? And he jumped at the chance. And then she brought him and the access and that story to us, and we just thought it was such a great story. So we helped develop it and came on board, and it was probably the quickest project we've ever been able to finance. Wow. And we're able to pull the team together and make this documentary happen.
Wow. And you shot the documentary in 2.5 days. How did you do it?
I have no idea. No, it was a lot of passion, and we just knew we had to tell this story. What happened was we were supposed to be actually there for 7 days, and we had sent the whole crew down. But the day that Rita was supposed to be coming down, which was just a day later, because she had a show to perform at, Customs wouldn't let her through. And they thought she needed this performer's visa, and it was just a big mix-up, even though she had the right documentation to cross the border. So when we asked the prison if they would write a letter to bring her down, they got scared, thinking there's some customs issue, maybe there's something wrong with Rita, she's a criminal or something, and so they pulled the plug on the project. So here we are down in, St. Francisville, which is a tiny little town, 4 corners, that's it, with our entire crew, waiting for Rita, with no story and no access anymore. And the locals, actually St. Francisville locals, kind of rallied together and helped us to try and meet the right people, some lawyers, ended up meeting somebody who knew the Secretary of State of Corrections in Louisiana, and ended up calling on the phone, just begging them to help us get permission to get back into the prison. So we literally had to try and break into the prison. And then it took us about 3.5, 4 days. Rita did make it across the border finally, and she was with us. And finally we got back into the prison, but we only had 2.5 days left to shoot it. And they wouldn't give us any longer. So we filmed them rehearsing, and then the next day they put on the concert, and we got the aftermath, and that was the film.
That's awesome. And the film is based upon music and how it influences the prison. Is that right?
I think it's more about music as a form of redemption. Okay. It's really, Rita went down there in search of stories about the blues, but I think she learned something far greater, and it turned out that when she bonded with these guys, through music, that she really found out about, that you can change, and what it means to forgive somebody who may have committed a crime 30 years ago. Can these men change? And that's the question. We met very different men from obviously what they were in there for. So I don't think we're trying to make a statement that you have to forgive them, but it does raise the question of how long is enough. And as you get to know them just as human beings, they're just very different men from the criminals that they were put in to be.
Very powerful. Yeah, absolutely. And you are screening this weekend here at the projection room. And where are you screening in the future?
We're touring now across North America. We're really excited. This is a film that is self-distributed to different theaters. We've been going across Canada. Right now, coming up, we will be in Kingston and London. We're outside of Halifax, and we have more screenings coming up, and people calling us to book the film just because through word of mouth. We're going to be in Louisiana, actually, again in Lafayette this weekend. We did go back to the prison and screened it for the inmates a couple weekends ago, and that was a really amazing experience. Rita took it and showed them there. And so we're hopefully going to keep going down to the south and having it for our audiences there to see.
Great. And is there a website that we can check out for more information on it?
Yes, you can go to musicfromthebighouse.com. We really encourage people to join our Facebook page, Twitter. The more people that come out and help get the word of this film out there, the better. We just really appreciate all the support of the audiences. So yeah, please, and if you want to come out and have your own screenings, you can have your own screening parties as well. There's a lot of church groups who come out who want screenings, social justice organizations that want to do their screenings, and this is a really great opportunity for them to get people together and just generate discussion.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Erin, and best of luck with the film.
Thank you so much.
I'm UHLMANN reporting for TTN-HD Production Live.